Morning, everybody. So we have a bunch of hellos. That's great. Right. So today's topic is going to be about 5 unpopular slot strategies, and I'll explain why they're unpopular, but they're absolutely necessary. I was talking with Larry yesterday during a chat that turned into a 15-minute chat that turned into a 1-hour consultation about the Detroit casinos. And he showed me 99 vouchers where he had a couple of hand pays, but also wins that were less than a hand pay. And he was just like, I've been listening to you for a year. I focused on location, which I have since renamed highly visible machines because it's a little more descriptive. And he's like, I won all this stuff. I just, I looked around like you told me to look around, and I won all this money, and yes, it is hard not to give it all back, but he had a loss limit method of, like a lot of people do, of putting in $20 only, and then keeping the voucher of whatever he had won. And he was winning, putting the $20 in, winning $600, $800. And we talked about a bunch of stuff. But one of the points that he made was, I hear from these other slots channels that, none of the stuff that you do, you're wrong about everything. And he's like, I can't, can you believe this? And I'm like, I'm not the people you meet that don't understand this. I've been talking about this for like 8 years. Sure. Yeah, I believe it. Congratulations. Well done. But he's like, no, and he can't believe that it works. I'm like, well, get to know your casino, all the stuff that I say. So we'll go over 5 slot strategies that are just next level stuff. I'm done apologizing. What do you think about the new setup? I'm done, trying to convince people who cannot be convinced. Let's just push forward, double down. Be more Professor Slots than ever before. These are the changes I'm making to my channel, which is not a change. It's just, stop trying to convince people that don't have a clue about what's happening, and, help the people that do. So, welcome. Glad you're here. Let's talk about 5 unpopular slot strategies that are absolutely necessary. And if you have suggestions on others, please put them in the comments, and make sure you also ask questions. So let's move forward here. Right, so you have a question, please use hashtag question at the beginning of your comment so I can spot it. There's a lot of hellos and more going on. And before I go too much further, I want to thank, and let's see, my volume is a little too high. Okay. Magpie 11 gave a $20 donation. She's currently listening from the gym. Hi, Magpie. And she always has these pithy comments in the super chat. Winners visualize themselves winning. Ain't that the truth? And also from Chuck. And Chuck gave a $20.96 donation. And his super chat is morning all. Chuck Fest has ended. Chuck volunteered to help me drive to Reno last October, just from Ohio, and he says, stop by Missouri, pick me up, and we'll do this together in a minivan. And we did that. And so I've spent a lot of time with Chuck, and I hope I didn't snore too much. I picked up everything that I owned, like the 4 days before all that. And I was like tired, and he drove a lot. 32-hour trip. 26 of it was after I reached him in Missouri. But thank you, Chuck, for the donation. You are a trooper. Right. So let's move forward. When you first get to the casino, you may be pretty excited. I mean, they want you to be pretty excited. Oh, I got some free play. I'm here for a reason. I'm doing all this other stuff. But go for a walk, see what it's like. Is everybody winning? Is everybody not winning? Is there anybody there? What can you spot? Go visit the landmarks, as I call them. Go check over by the cafe. Anybody in the high limit room, and see if if it's one of those casinos like Hard Rock Tampa or Yamava or Foxwoods, where it's just a dull roar all the time and you can't hear how what's going on. You can't hear winds or for various reasons. You can do that in medium-sized casinos or some that are not completely busy. But sometimes you have to actually, look at the slot attendants and see if they're working, see if they've got a lot of work to do, or if the place is full and nobody's winning a hand pay. Yeesh. So make sure that you go for a walk first, just to scope out the situation, because again, I bet on yourself, Magpie says, yeah. When you are going to the casino, and I'm just tired of trying to convince people who cannot be convinced that time and day matters. Obviously. What, do you not play slots? So I guess they don't. Anyway, right. So let's get to, go for a walk first. That's the first thing you should do when you enter the casino. See how things are going, scope out the situation, put your thinking cap on, and look around and see what you can see, hear what you can hear, to let it guide you on your visit. Because you may end up saying, I've consistently gone at this time, which is kind of convenient for me. Or maybe it's just habit. And you might be like, nobody wins right then. And you have to check to see if, you might be in one of the 20 states that have return statistics, which I cover. And that the people are winning because the odds are so high on the denominations in this, and you're not seeing that. Well, that's because if you're not seeing it, it's because you're at the casino at the wrong time. Again, time, day matters. You can deny it all you want. You can live in the 90s when somebody had to open up the machine and change it. Change the odds, and you kind of know when they ask you to step up, back up, door swings open, they punch in the code and they close it again. You kind of know that happens back in the 90s, but nowadays it's all automated. Yeah, and so I could go on about that. So sometimes you need to change. And it's can be very inconvenient. You have a schedule, you go after work, maybe, and it's not working for you. Well, okay, accept it. Maybe you can go before you go into work. I tried to do that. Some people, I talk about a strategy where you come in early. and I was a little worried that nobody would want to come into the casino at 4:00 in the morning. Turns out a lot of people will get up early. I was surprised. So maybe going to the casino before work instead of after work, would be an option. Besides the weekends, and so changing when you visit. Now, what is a better time? I've talked about how the morning after big events is an opportunity. You can, 3 visits without spending any money will inform you on whether or not you have a casino that chooses to have that counting practice. Which is, once you get used to that, then you start thinking about end of quarter. All right. Financial quarters, everybody knows what financial quarters are. January, February, March is the first quarter of the year. We are in March 18th. And companies look at their revenue, their profit, their financial statistics by quarter, and annually, and maybe by month, but by quarter is often a good sign. And right about now, what are they doing? They're like, we have to meet our numbers for the quarter, or we met our numbers for the quarter and now we can give a little bit back to bring it up. So I've talked with Magpie 11, and I've talked with Larry yesterday about the Nevada returns that show what happened during the pandemic when all casinos closed in Nevada on March 8th and then reopened June 18th. And so we know how the returns are for the first part of March. And wow, they were never lower. Would you like to see that? I should show you that. Let's take a look at it. Just to be clear, Nevada slots, return to player. Let me share that with you then. And I'll make myself small. All right, so this is my article on Nevada return to player. It includes the January numbers. Let me make that bigger for you. And I think this is just fascinating. I mean, people say, I don't want to see a graph. Dude, you should really look at this graph. I mean, seriously, are you not wanting to use state data? I mean, first of all, look at this. This is 6 areas only. There's like 27 of them in Nevada. I picked out 6 of them just because these are where my fans are. This is where I live. Of course, downtown, of course, the Strip. And I wanted to do a border town or two. And I had no idea that I was going to get this kind of result where it's like clear daylight between Reno, Sparks, and Wendover on the top row. and I had assumed that downtown was going to have better odds than the Las Vegas Strip. And it turns out, no. I mean, they're bouncing back and forth, and the Jackson area is just slightly above those two. But then Reno is just way up there. And this is like 3 years of data, 3 years of monthly data. Oh, my goodness. But what I wanted to point out here, what I was just talking about, is over here. Can you see my mouse? Over here, when everything closed March 8th in Nevada because of the order from the governor, because of the pandemic. And if you remember, it was a surprise. I mean, there might have been 24-hour notice, 12-hour notice, but not much notice. At least that's how it felt to me when I was in Ohio and everything closed. So this is the first 8 days of March, the last month in the first quarter of 2020. And the odds are low. So what do you think that the odds would be for after the 8th of March through the end of March? I mean, this is just them making sure, absolutely certain, that they would get their money, what they wanted to make. And so all they have to do is just give back a couple of jackpots, raise the odds, which they can do automatically for the rest of the month to bring it up to where it would be for the month. We don't have return statistics weekly. We have return statistics offered to the public monthly, so that we get the monthly average, except for this one time when everything closed. And then you look at beginning on June 18th, when everything reopened, the 18th, everything was high. So that kind of matches what would have to happen over here in order for it to get to the usual March numbers. In order to get to this average, they would have to bring this up to about this high for the rest of the month in order to get the return that's going to be for the month that we always see. I was in a graduate school, physics graduate school, in the Department of Physics and Astronomy at Iowa State University. There's a couple of degrees over here for that, for the master's degree in applied physics on 9/11, which, we were all devastated. We were all sad, as many people remember. Where were you when? Exactly. I know exactly where. I can see the room I was in when I found out, teaching students. And everybody was devastated, but the astronomy professors realized that all commercial jets had been grounded, and that there were no contrails in the sky. They'd dissipate in a couple hours, and that would be it for days. And they were like, despite our grief, this is an opportunity to get data where we don't have interference from contrails crisscrossing the sky all the time. So there is a lot to be learned, despite the difficulties of that time. So yes, we have data from when all casinos shut down, and I'm thinking about going through the 20 states that have return statistics and looking at their numbers and exactly when that state closed all their casinos, and seeing if they, do they lower the odds at the beginning of the month and raise them at the end of the month? Yeah, I mean, we have this one opportunity to learn what casinos do, and they're not happy about it that we learned this. I hope it never happens again, but that it did happen, despite our grief, we can learn. And so, yeah, so that's part of what I wanted to show you. And let's come back to the presentation. Changing when you visit, it might not just be time of day, it might not just be day of week. It might be, hey, are we getting close to the end of the quarter? Yes, March 18th. It's March 31st is the end of the quarter. And April 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, that's the beginning of the second quarter. So what would they do at the beginning of the quarter? What do they do at the end of the quarter? And if you have a year's worth of notes, what happened a year ago? If you met me a year ago, like Larry did, what happened a year ago on your records when you started taking notes? Because I say take notes and learn from this. Okay, so next necessary step, and I'll make this a little smaller. Oops, a little bigger. Go home, even if you just got there. But I don't want to. I've been there. I won 2 hand pays totaling $14,000, just a little over $14,000. I had been there for 35 minutes, 20 minutes of which I was waiting for my hand pays, and basically 15 minutes of playing. And I'm like, I drove like 45 minutes to get here, and now I have to leave because I know it's the right thing to do. I had planned on spending the whole day here, but I guess not. So, if you see unsatisfactory conditions, because time and day matters and month matters, and casino conditions, economic conditions matter, some of which you can know about, because MGM bought all those 7 properties on the Las Vegas Strip. That cost a pretty penny. So MGM Grand Detroit is going to be like one of all the MGMs everywhere that are going to be paying that bill from you, from lowering the odds on you. And, if you can sometimes understand the reasons why a casino would do that. A lot of people, not my fans. A lot of people are like, well, they would just like make it 0 if they could. Have you ever run a business, dude? Sorry, could be man or woman. Have you ever run a business? If you, I was just listening to Elon Musk in one of his YouTube videos. I'm applying, by the way. It's a long story. And Tesla's in Nevada, and time has come for me to do that. And yes, so I see a question here that I'll be answering in a moment. I saw him talking about, you could try to sell a car for $10 million, but only a few people would buy it. You need to make it economical so that 10 million people will buy it, not 1 or 2. And it's just economics. So let's be serious about these things. Snow all week in Austin, in Santa Fe. Wow. So let's move through these. Your casino might get sold. To a new operator, get a new management team, get a different owner, and they don't put up a sign until 6 months later. That's just how it is. because it takes a while to order them and put them up. And if you win hand pays, keep an eye on your W-2Gs, because they have to tell the IRS immediately. I was shocked. I was winning hand pays, and doing whatever. And I looked at my hand pay and I tucked it away, and I was like, wait a minute, what the? And I looked at who had given the W-2G that they're telling this, telling the IRS, and the name had changed. And I'm like, it wasn't this name yesterday. And they announced it in the news 6 months later when the signs went up that they had to order, but they have to tell the IRS immediately. So these are the sorts of things. It's just like, keep an eye on it, please. There's things to learn. And so sometimes you do have to give up on your favorite casino, partly because something changed. Maybe you know what it is, and we could talk about it if you want to. You can go to my webpage and just sign up for a free chat. We could talk about it. Let's see here, this one. Yes. If you go to any of my articles, go to this one, and there's a little icon over here on the side. Sign up for your free 15-minute chat. But if you want to turn it into an hour, that's a paid consultation. Mostly this 15-minute chat is to make sure I'm not a hologram, I'm not a robot. Hi, I'm a real person. But if you have a quick question, feel free to use that service. So sometimes what happens is maybe a new casino opens near you. That can happen, in which case, there's plans that they put in place that when downtown Cincinnati's casino opened, they told the investors, this is what we're going to do. We're going to let people win for a couple of years, and then we're going to sell our casino for big money. So your payday's coming, but it's not going to be, you'll get something as we go along, but the real big payday is going to be about 2 years away. And they accepted it. And so I was winning, and then somebody else bought it, and I stopped going. So I was able to keep it, because there's so many of my friends that went into bankruptcy because they're like, well, I'm lucky. Dude, you're taking advantage of the casino. You need to understand that, or not, I guess. It's up to you. And what can happen is everybody tells me I'm the next level. You can hear people talking about it on my interviews, on my podcast. I'm next level. What I'm talking about isn't talked about. Hi, I'm the innovator. I'm explaining these things. And sometimes, the worry that I had for Larry was that he was talking about, this is how I win. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to leave with, but this is how much I'm going to leave with. But I'm not entirely sure exactly what that would be, but I will be leaving with something. And Larry was telling his friends, and his friends were like, no, see, it's all random. And I'm like, I showed him the Nevada thing where Reno's Sparks and Wendover is up here, and downtown, and the Strip are down there. And this is the aggregate result from all casinos in that district. So it's the plan, the business plan. That's not random. That's a business plan. And so randomness is a tough concept. I'm going to say something awful to people. It will drive people away that aren't my fans, and my fans who love me and like me and are interested in all of this will just eat it up. Probability curves, probability distributions. But yeah, too many people don't like statistics. And if you had been in high school, if you had been in college and someone said, take statistics, and maybe you got out of it, if someone had said, by the way, you'll win at slots later in life, maybe you should take it. Huh? So Larry is having difficulty convincing his friends, and he was trying to convince me, and I'm like, dude, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I've been trying to get the word out, so yeah, this is how things work, and sometimes your friends can hold you back. Now, I like what I'm going to talk about Magpie 11 a little bit. She understands that various reasons she might go to a casino, and one of them is to go with family, in which case just go have fun. But, of course, loss limits, and maybe spend a couple $100, and just, don't worry about what the things they say. But if they are standing in your way of winning, well, they don't have to be there. You can go on another trip and see what's going on. So I am not seeing. Oh, am I seeing an update here? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. So that is what I have for you. Let's do the Q&A. If you would like this video so that more people can be pushed here. The YouTube algorithm is basically a central server, and let's try to take advantage of it by drawing more people in, by you simply pushing the like button. Yeah. People will ask you to hit the subscribe button. They don't understand that that's useless. But I shouldn't give tips to other slots channels so they can do better, right? Minnesota 3, welcome. Flip, hey Flip, great to see you. Good morning, Flip. And Magpie 11 says, bet on yourself. Yep. Aaron, hi. Hello. Cheryl, hello to everybody, she says. Steve, hey. Steve's in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah, that's Treasures says the best advice to be found here. Helped me tremendously. People are winning at casinos all over the country. If you want to learn my stuff, just look at the free content. The only thing I charge for is if you've got a trip to Las Vegas coming up in 30 days, then maybe you should take my 30-day course, because I'll run through my 740 videos on YouTube, not including this is the 193rd live stream, of which only 189 live streams are not listed. They're unlisted. So, it's close to 1,000 videos. Take your time. But if you got a trip coming up, I've got a fast way for you to get up to speed. But it costs $97. Oh my goodness. Oh, so much. And if you are interested in how to get out of the casino and talk about brain chemistry and the advanced stuff, then I'm offering that in Slots Labs, which will become available in, let's see here, Tools and Resources. Slots Labs is here. The next offering is starting on Monday. If you go to the website, I will show you that countdown timer, 2 days, 3 hours, 31 minutes, 20 seconds before the first lessons are released in the 6-week group coaching program. It is at there at the top, professorslots.com/SL. I'm just trying to help you. And please, don't spend your money. Don't spend your winnings. Watch my free content, listen to my free content, think it through, go for a walk, go on better days, and go home with your money. And some small fraction of that, buy my courses, just so you can do more of that. I'm trying to be pithy and say things succinctly, and sometimes I'm like, I should say more, but that's it. Use my free content to pay for the convenience of some of the courses I'm talking that I provide, how to keep gambling records, or figure it out for yourself. You're a smart guy, woman, man. I'm all for that. Yeah. Just trying to help. Let's see. Yeah, that's one of the. It's lots of fun. One of my moderators, thank you, moderators, says play the casino, not just the games, and that's something that Jimmy the Greek once said about playing poker. Don't play poker, play the other player. Yeah, and poker players notices that. So we got a question. Did you hear that they are finally trying to up the hand pay amount to the federal level? Thoughts? Yes, I had heard that. They're not finally trying to do it. They're making another run at it. This helps you not at all. This helps none of us, not at all. This is to reduce paperwork within the casino for the casino. Doesn't help anybody else. I mean, it helps people cheating on their taxes, I guess. Well, I wouldn't want to report a $1,200 hand pay. If they move it up to $5,000, then I will be able to cheat on my taxes more. You think the IRS is going to support that? No, this whole initiative, which is just like a marketing thing, is just so the casinos can make more money by reducing the efforts. This is why they got central servers in the first place, to reduce all those slots technicians so they could go start YouTube channels, because they lost their job because they can the casinos reduce the workforce, and that saved a lot of money, a lot of salary, a lot of compensation, because now all they do is just clean the fans and install new machines and machines, instead of opening up every one of those every couple of hours and just do it in shifts all day long. That they got rid of that, and so this, we have a lot of slots, unemployed slots technicians. Yeah. Hey, Sugar Moon Garden. See, now I want to say, hey, I should use that as my password, but now I can't because I said that. Oh, Erica. Thank you so much, Erica, for your donation. And have visited any casinos in Atlantic City? Which ones do you prefer? I have not been to Atlantic City. I have. It's just not an area that I've been to. But if we go to, let's take a look at the returns for, this is Nevada. I'm going to switch, so it's professorslots.com/Nevada slots return to player. And if we instead do New Jersey slots return to player, we will have the report there. So let's move on down to the graphs. Where's the graph? There's the graph. Okay. And let me bring that up so you can see it a little better. Where would you go? Looking at the state returns by casino in Atlantic City, where would you go? Well, what's this green line? Harrah's. What's this black line? Is it, which one is it? Is it Ocean? I have to look at this a little closer. I can open up the Excel spreadsheet, and which is not on the website, and we can take a look at exactly what that dark color is. Let's see, return to player, New Jersey, and I cycle through these. I haven't gotten through all the states. I'm about to update New Jersey again. I've done it twice now because New Jersey is New Jersey, and you want to do that. Let's see, where are you at? New Jersey, and go under statistics analysis. I'm sorry, I'm digging through my Excel spreadsheets. And there we go. So let me put that over here so you can see it. Right. And I will make myself small and remove that. And so actually have extended this for everybody, so you can now see that what I was showing before was when I published the article, but I've since sort of kept track of things for paying customers. And so that is Harrah's. This is all the way up to like July of 2021. It's still clear daylight between the two. And then some of the lower ones, if I click on this, we should be able to come up with Ocean. Yeah, this line is Ocean. This gold one is Golden Nugget, appropriately enough. The brown one is Premier. And so these are the ones you'd want to avoid. You might be giving up a baseline by going to Harrah's here if you drop down to Borgata, but at least you're not going down to the lower returns. And of course, you'd want to check these every month. You don't want to end up like there could have a substantial change. I mean, look at how Borgata had been on par with Harrah's in 2019, 2020. And then after the pandemic, they almost maintained it until like November 2020. And then they just kind of dropped. And so you want to keep an eye on these things going to Atlantic City. I mean, there's also Good Rewards Club. You invested in it. Other reasons to want to do these sorts of things and to see how it's going, because when you have state returns, that's one thing. It's only 40% of the states. Use every advantage that you got. That's important. And as I know, Miriam used to live in Atlantic City and used to go there all the time. Harrah's pays very well. Yeah, I mean, there's just years of data showing that. And when does Magpie 11, it says, when does Slots Labs start? So let me bring that up for you. I put, there we go. So yes, if you look at this, there's a timer right there. Maybe that's a little too small. 9 a.m. Monday. Oh, did I have it for 9 a.m. tomorrow? Basically, the beginning of next week. Yes. I think I have it set up so that it will be 2 days from now, Monday morning. For some reason, I have it on the 19th. It may need to change that. The countdown timer is maybe a little bit more accurate. I'm going to make that a little bigger so you can see it. Countdown timer. Oh, that's too big. There you go, countdown timer. And that's where it's at. So what I'm going to be doing is releasing the lessons on this. I'll be sending out another note for everybody. So I got laid off as an aerospace engineer about 2.5 years ago, coming up on 3. They gave me a severance package, and I have used that to pursue Professor Slots, because as the PhD in the building, I had seen this whole layoff. They let go of 1 out of every 3 people. So it's not just me. And they had another layoff after I left. And so I don't know what the totals were, because by then I was out. And I decided to pursue Professor Slots with that small savings. I didn't make anything on the house that I had in Ohio, 5 acres, log home. Unfortunately, for a good reason, part of my being naive at being a first-time homeowner, I'd done inspections, but I hadn't done 5 of them. Had to really dig into it. Learned a lot from the new buyers. And so my $108,000 in proceeds that I was told to expect turned into almost $5,000. And so that was supposed to help me with the transition to Nevada. And Slots Labs has been going great. Business is going great. But after a aerospace engineering PhD in the building salary, not so much. So savings is toast. at this point, and so I will get a job. Luckily, there's a little company called Tesla, which is amazing. It's a wonderful company. You should take a look at it. They're doing some stuff. I'm sorry. I'm just really excited. They're doing something that's going to be bigger than the car. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Favorite property so far, or let me go through these in order. Let's see. Next question. Next question. Let's see. Kevin Smith, not the Kevin Smith that used to be my old boss. Is your middle initial D? Oh, you have a picture. Nope, not you. Not my old boss. Okay, I tried a new casino on Wednesday and did the 5-spin method and it works. I left with $1,100. However, I went back on Saturday and tried it again. Not one machine went off. What's your take on that casino? This is something that happens a lot in Nevada. You went back on a Saturday. Are you in Nevada? Because Saturdays are notoriously tough in Nevada. Why? Because California comes to visit and they just want to take all the money from the people from California that come to visit. Well, during the week, like you said, on a Wednesday, it's pretty much locals are playing. And, those are what I call bread and butter customers who don't go away. And so, and so if you go to on Wednesday and it works, go back on Wednesday, maybe check on a Tuesday, maybe check on a Thursday, but I'm not surprised. It's like hitting a wall. And you may not be in Nevada, but it's the sort of thing where Nevada, the things that happen in Nevada, a lot of other gaming jurisdictions are like, we just do what Nevada does because they're the experts. No, I'm not at all surprised by that. So what I like to do is every time I go into a casino at a new time, even when it's a same old time, I do the 5-spin method, minimum bets. It's like when I was talking about just go walking around, see what the situation is. What I also like to do is minimum bets, 5-spin method, just to see if I'm getting, anything. If I'm getting $1 on my 88-cent bet, if I'm getting 50 cents on my 30-cent bets, is it on or has it been turned off at that day time? And that's the topic of today's live stream. Was sometimes you plan out the whole day and you get there and you have to go home. Yeah, absolutely. Happens to me many times. Yep. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you think about, people are like, so I want to treat it like poker or card games or rolling dice. That's based on physics. I mean, the game rules, which don't change unless you change your game of poker. So Texas Hold'em is Texas Hold'em is Texas Hold'em is Texas Hold'em because it's based on physics and a set known rules. But slot machines are based on electronics. And, if you're sitting at a table game and somebody and the game switches from Texas Hold'em to 3-card stud, you'd be like, and nobody told you, you'd be like looking at the dealer going, I need 2 more cards because I only have 3. What's going on? Oh, well, we changed the game. Oh, you're supposed to tell me. And on slot machines, they don't tell you. They can change the odds and change the rules, and there's no requirement to tell you. The machine just moved to a different probability distribution. I love that word. Those words, that concept. It's just what happens. So, the day matters, obviously. Plan a trip to Reno, treasures, right? I mean, just look at the odds. Boom. Question from Flip. Your combined strategies to walk the casino first while focusing on the numbers and not the, I didn't even mention, to see what the grands are and the majors are to see where, if they're so high that you've never seen them before, maybe you should invest in playing that if you're a slot stalker, but maybe you're not a slot stalker. But anyway, your combined strategies to walk a casino first while focusing on the numbers and not the flashing lights and bells have been huge for me. Now I usually start off winning. It's worth the work. And it is work. I mean, a lot of people look at slots as like, well, this is simple, it's table games are hard and you have to think. Slots are, for the people who don't think. And I'm like, what the heck? That's just such a myth from so long ago. Flip, I think you were the one that told me that you went into the casino with a cold and you were like lost and unusually lost because you didn't have the brain capacity while having a terrible sinus infection and you were physically tired, maybe had a fever, and it was just like, you gotta be awake, not tired, unless that's how you win. Chuck does that. He has to be like 2:00 in the morning, tired, hungry, and a little upset, and that's when he wins. So yeah. Let's see. Shub says, is it more better to play slots at the tables like blackjack, poker? I find tables of more chance of winning. I find tables a lot of more chance of winning. Blackjack craps is a negative EV game. That is expected value. It's a statistical term. It has a house edge. It is set. You might say, well, in playing craps, I can do dice control, and sure, Foxwoods, or no, is it Mohegan Sun in Connecticut has those particular table. It's the felt is like a little bit different, so it doesn't bounce as much, and so dice control becomes possible. But at most craps tables, that's not possible. These are all things that I don't talk about craps table games, but doesn't mean I don't know about it. So roulette, blackjack, craps, those are negative EV games. There's nothing you can do. Poker, plenty of people, in poker, all you need to do is beat the other people at the table. That's what Jimmy the Greek was talking about when he said, don't play poker, play the other player. So all you need to do is beat the other person. Watch their eyes, do all those things that you do, and then you can be a professional poker player. I really enjoyed having a conversation with Mark Duvall from You Can Bet on That, the podcast. Him and Dr. Mike, a dentist, really enjoy craps. But he says, how do I fund paying for craps? Because they're down. Well, he goes to his local casino and he plays poker. And that's where he gets the money to spend on craps. Yeah. So as long as you understand all those things, and then we can look at, I think one of the things people like to see is the return statistics. So let me show you return statistics for, let's see, where's the link? Gaming revenue. So let's go to the gaming board. This is for January 2023. I'll go to statewide. You can look at all these different regions and including the revenue range for casinos on the Las Vegas Strip, downtown, but that's all a long presentation. This is statewide, all facilities, 307 casinos in Nevada, all locations. So I'm going to do this where I'm going to highlight all of this. So this is, people love this, by the way. This is statewide. You can do this for each individual location. and some of the revenue breakdowns on that previous page, but this is for statewide. This is all the data. It gets a little confusing unless you understand that that is the 12-month average, 3-month average. And this is January 2023. Down here, let's see here. I covered it up a little bit. I'll try that again. Where is it? There it is. So here is sports betting. Right there is sports betting. And then up here is table games. Moving it up here, that's table games. And then down here is slot machines. And if you look at the win percent, which is this column right there for January 2023, these are all the games. I'll open that up. So these are this is the casino win percent. Usually it's called hold percent, but they don't do that. So the higher the number, the more the casino gets. The lower the number, the better it is for slots players. And so only the penny machines are as high as being over 10%. And and Baccarat is 34% house edge instead of a 10% house edge for penny machines. And we all know penny machines are worse. So, you know, if you're looking at like nickel machines, quarter machines are not too good. But then if you get $5 machines, it's like, you know, $100 machine. It's the $25 machines is like 4% casino hold percent on average for all 34 casinos and 137 machines. Yeah. So when you are looking at a game, a table game where it is statistics based, there is no skill as there is in poker, then this is how everybody does in poker. You know, 25, 26, 33, 34 hold, casino hold. That's the average. And what's happening is a few professional slots players are just banging it out. They're looking at this and saying, you know, let's beat the pants off. A few poker players are beating the pants off many other people sitting at the table. You know, that's how you win at poker. Beat everybody that's at the table and hopes none of them are going to beat you. Right? Okay. I don't usually talk about table games, but when the question is which is better, slots or table games, I'm like, look at the numbers. You know, yeah. I respect poker players. Card counting is a thing of the past. You might be at a casino which has like 2 decks, but I very much doubt it. And if it doesn't have an infinite card shuffler right now, and that just kills card counting. Yeah. And so I'm getting a lot of people coming from blackjack saying, I lost my advantage. Is there an advantage to slots? And I'm like, yeah, totally. There's so many of them that you have to sort of focus and build it up. This is, yeah. Okay. Question from Treasures. What is your favorite Reno property so far? I haven't seen all of them. There's like 13 of them. And 12, 13 of them. I haven't been to all of them. I've been to like 6. I haven't played a lot in all of them. I've played a little bit in, let's see, that would be Silver Legacy in downtown Reno. There's a couple of casinos there, including El Dorado and others. I'm sure they're very nice, but what I've been doing is focusing on Atlantis. Because I had some good advice from when I first moved here from people who are here, and I'm been learning that casino. one of the things that we learned partly from Magpie 11, who visits the Las Vegas Strip, we were all terribly excited on our Thursday night Slots IQ meeting when, she's in Las Vegas Strip. You've got 37 casinos that you could go to. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. And she just looked at us tired and saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, she didn't say this. I will say this. It's like having 37 girlfriends. Oh, if you think that's going to work out okay, you got another thing coming. You invest in a casino and hope for the best. Yeah. Make it work. Let's see. Questions. You're welcome, Kevin. And Aaron asked, anybody from Biloxi here? If you look at the Mississippi slots report, we can go there, but it's on my webpage. Don't understand your question, Happy Moon. What provider are on fire today? Are you talking about slot machine manufacturers? The one thing I did want to mention was Light and Wonder. It's no longer the named Scientific Games, the second largest slot machine provider. They still have their website, Scientific Games, but now they've switched over to Light and Wonder, which doesn't have the word science in it, scientific in it anymore. So I feel like they might have gone a little bit too far the other way. It's kind of like when El Dorado bought Caesars Entertainment. One of the things they bought was the name Caesars Entertainment, and so they renamed themselves Caesar Entertainment. So if you go to a Caesars property, it's not a Caesars property, it's an El Dorado who have taken the name Caesars. And that includes all the Harrah's and all the other brands within Caesars properties. So Serenity says, no kitties today. So that was my mistake. I have some catnip that I put on the shelf here, and 5 minutes before the live stream, and they snorted all that up or rolled in it, ate it minutes before the live stream started. I commented on it in the live chat before the live part started, and they're just now they're snoring it off. They're like out of it. So next time I will start the live stream, and I'll tap out a little catnip, put it up there, and you can see them just rolling around in it. I'm setting things up differently now. You have a much better view of my diplomas. And it saw a tail walk by. Yeah, right. So yeah, I'll see what I can do about cat training. Cat training to try to get things done here, and get them to come up and maybe get on my shoulders or something like that. We'll see. I'm not very optimistic. Catnip, yeah, right, catnip, and now they're zonked out, which I wish I'd thought of that earlier. My daughter was recommending it. Okay, so changes are coming. I'm going to be less apologetic, less trying to, being upset about people who. I said yesterday. Somebody said you're an idiot, and I'm like, dude, you spelled idiot wrong. If people don't get it, if they don't see it, they don't, and I can't make them. Like talking to Larry yesterday with his 99 vouchers, putting in $20, taking out the voucher, and just showed me 99 of them for each from the last week, then the week before, and then the week before, and it's just, he's like, this is what's going on, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I talk about all the time. Well, I mean, and he's like, people don't believe him when he shows them pictures. So he started taking pictures. He didn't believe when they told him, so he started showing them pictures, and they say that's not true. These are not these are not yours, or whatever. And he's like, they got a time and stamp on them all from within a few minutes. No, we can't. No, we're not going to believe in facts. And he's like, what? And he said people stand next to them, next to him, and as he did it, that's not happening. I'm like, I'm sorry that people are, not believing in you. Sometimes you just have to let it go. And this is where we're at today. And when your next level stuff, explaining how things work, and people have a GED, that's all you need. High school diploma to be a slot tech. And that gives you an idea what they know. Yeah. And 8 college degrees gives you an idea what I know, and gives you an idea what my student loans are like. So changes are coming. Looking forward to working at a local company that's a big name, and may or may not tell you any more about it. I guess if I get hired, when I get hired, I guess I have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but that's what happens when you work at these companies. So Elon Musk may shake my hand, and I won't tell you because busy. Slots Lab starts in 2 days, next week. And I look forward to those of you who have signed up. And if you want to sign up, there's still some openings left. ProfessorSlots.com /SL if you want to sign up. And then I'm going to be closing it once the class starts. And it could be a while, 6 months, a year, before I offer this again. So if you're looking to do the opportunity, I'm going to be working pretty hard at the company that will remain unnamed, but I will be still supporting my products that are coming out, but offering these things less often. And please use your winnings that you got because of my free content. I mean, right? Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for the great live stream. Please take care. I will see you the next live stream, whenever that may be, whatever it is, whenever it will be the 194th live stream. So I'll see you later. Thanks for your time. Have a wonderful day.